Hi there, it's Bike Touring Mike here. Today I'm back with a review of my Trangia 25-3 UL camp stove. Trangia is a stove that's made in Sweden, and this model has existed for about 100 years. And virtually every Swede that is out in nature sometimes owns one of these, and it's often passed down from generation to generation. However, I haven't inherited mine from my parents. I bought this maybe 15 years ago, and I mainly use it when I'm out camping with my family. This is the bigger model, so it's suitable for 3 to 4 persons, and the 25 series is a bit smaller and is suitable for 1 or 2 persons. So as I said, I've owned this for about 15 years, so it's not going to be one of those reviews with people who have just bought their first Trangia. I've used this for about 100 times, so I've gained a fair amount of knowledge about Trangia stoves during the years. First of all, we have a non-stick frying pan, and it comes with a piece of plastic on the inside here. And I would advise you to keep this plastic because it protects the frying pan from these sharp edges here in the Trangia. Then we have the burner itself, and I always try to keep this inside of a plastic bag, because after you use this, if you have some alcohol still left in it, it can leak out in the pot, and you don't want that to happen. We can look at the burner in a short while. I just have a couple of matches here. The Trangia is structured as a Russian doll, so you can store each pot inside of the other. It comes with 2 of these pots, the first one being 1.5 liter, and the second one is 1.75 liters. So this is the base of the Trangia. As you can see, it has a lot of ventilation holes up here and on the side as well. So what you do is you direct this towards the wind, and then you have a nice ventilation over the burner, which helps the burner be effective. So what you do with the burner is that you just put it in this hole, and it fits perfectly. Untighten this lid, and then you add some denatured alcohol in the burner. So when you fill up the burner, you will soon realize that the alcohol level slowly sinks. That's because the alcohol fills up the outer jacket. The outer jacket works as a sort of reservoir for the alcohol. And if you fill up the burner to about 2/3, you'll be able to use it for about 25 to 30 minutes. So as the burner might look full in the beginning, you can just add some more alcohol and let the alcohol sink into the burner. I can feel it's warm, so it's coming along. Now we have a really nice flame going here. I'm gonna do a test and see how long it takes for us to warm up 1/2 liter of water. So I'm just gonna pour some water into one of the bowls and put it on the stove. And the smart thing you do when you use the bowls is that you can use the frying pan as a lid, so you get a faster boiling time. Now we have some boiling water here, and took just about 6 minutes to cook 1/2 liter of water. So you can remember 6 minutes. I'm gonna do a comparison in just a little while here. I also have the Trangia gas burner, so I'm gonna compare the gas burner with the alcohol burner and see which one is faster. As you can see, we have a really nice flame going right now. You might think that you should use the lid to snuff out the flame. Well, this isn't recommended, since the lid has an O-ring made of rubber on the inside. If you were to snuff the flame out with the lid, you will just ruin this O-ring. So instead you can use this little thing. This is a simmer ring slash snuffer. So first of all, let's try to use the simmer ring. So I just adjusted this to about half open, and I just put it on top of the flame. And as you can see, the flame kind of dies out. So if you just use the simmer ring and put whatever you're cooking on top of the burner, you can just let it sit there and simmer for a while. Second use of this is just close the simmer ring, as I've shown here, and put it on top of the flame. And the flame will die out. So the good things about using the alcohol burner is that the fuel is really cheap and the burner itself is really quiet. There are, however, a couple of bad things as well. One of them being that using methanol leaves you with a lot of soot on the bottom of the pot, which means that you have to clean it after using it. However, this can be avoided by adding just a little bit of water and mixing out the alcohol. So you maybe add 1 part water and 9 parts alcohol, and that should do the trick with the soot. Another drawback of the alcohol burner is that it's a lot slower than the gas burner. As you saw when I started it up, it needs to be warm before it starts to function properly. It can also be a bit of a problem to adjust the heat, since you have to place and remove this simmering all the time. You can't really adjust this once it's on the flame. You just have to remove it and do your adjustment and then place it on top of the fire again. And as I told you earlier, it's a bit difficult to appreciate how much fuel you need in the burner. My experience has been that once you've added the alcohol and lit it up, you're either left with too much alcohol after you've cooked your dinner, or you run out of fuel in the middle of your cooking. So you constantly have to add some fuel. So as I said, if you fill it up to about 2/3, it should last you for about 25 to 30 minutes, which should be enough for your dinner making. So instead of leaving the alcohol that was left in the burner, I just let the flame burn out until there was nothing left, as you can see in the burner right now. But now it's been out for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and it's cooled down a bit, so it's okay to have in your hand. You could leave some alcohol in this and just screw on this lid here, but my experience has been, when I've done this, is that most of the alcohol has leaked out. My recommendation would be just to let whatever is left of the alcohol, just let it burn. So a couple of years after I bought my Trangia stove, I invested in this gas burner as a supplement to the stove, mainly because I was tired of all this hassle with the alcohol being left in the burner and the soot on the bottom of my pots as well. Plus, I wanted to have a more effective burner than the alcohol burner that comes with a set. So we can attach this to the Trangia stove itself and see how the gas burner works. So what you do is you just put the gas burner into the hole as you did with the alcohol burner, and then you thread out the regulator through this hole here, and then attach your gas canister to the regulator. And you light the burner just as you do with your ordinary gas stove. So I thought we would do the half-liter boil test again. So I just add a half-liter of water in this bowl here. Put it on top of the Trangia and start the clock. So I think the water is boiling now. Yes, and it took just over 4 minutes to boil the water with the gas burner. So it's about 2 minutes faster to cook half a liter of water on the gas burner than the alcohol burner. So the main benefit that I can see with the gas burner is that it's a lot more easy to regulate than the alcohol burner. So if you want to simmer your food, the gas burner is the one to go with. The main benefits of the gas burner is that you don't have to mess with the soot on the bottom of the pan. It's a lot faster than the alcohol stove, and you can also regulate the intensity of the heat from the stove. But there are a couple of drawbacks as well. The fuel to the gas burner is a lot more expensive than the fuel to the alcohol burner, and it also makes a little bit more noise than the alcohol burner if you're out in the nature and you wanna just relax and listen to the birds chirping around you. I also own this multi-disc for the Trangia stove, and this works both as a colander and as a cutting board, and also as a lid if you want to keep whatever is in your pots warm. Overall, the Trangia stove is a really nice stove. It's okay with just the alcohol burner. I would really recommend you to buy the gas burner if you were thinking about buying the Trangia stove. Thanks for watching this review of the Trangia stove, and until next time, have a good one.